We'll go to war, Miss Agnes. Another Friday report. What are we going to talk about this week? We got rockfish on the brain. Rockfish season open back up. Been seeing a lot of these rockfish. Nice. Good size. Be the future. It was quiet. Boat traffic was way down. But it's good everybody get back fishing and spending the rest of their summer out getting to catch rockfish or stripers, or you got a million names. Well, whether you call them striped bass, stripers, rockfish, squid hounds, line siders, or greenheads, if you're in Maryland and you're on Chesapeake Bay, they're going to be called rockfish. Usually. Most of the time. That's what we call them. We're up here on the Flemish Capt, catching a few crabs. I don't think it's gotten right yet, but we're up here. Well, crabbing's been going along. It's been decent some days. Started moving north and then started catching a few crabs where I was, so I hung out. Just been up and down a little bit here and there lately.
Had some weird jellyfish today. The backs on them are like hard. They did have tentacles, but not near as long as like a sea nettle. They have a harder top to them. Pretty neat.
Striped bass. They're caught all over the coast, mostly northern, up Jersey, New York, Massachusetts, Rhode Island. All them guys up there catch them in the summertime, I guess, and into the fall. They catch the big ones, the breeders up there. We're catching a lot of smaller fish. I think 19 inches is legal. Up to, I guess some guys are still catching them in the 30s, jigging and doing other stuff. The live line bite seems to be a smaller fish. Another nice little rockfish there, good size. A lot of these. We've seen lots and lots of rockfish this year. Good fish. We've been seeing tons and tons and tons of small ones, relatively speaking. A lot of times we'll go weeks and weeks without ever even seeing one in the crab pot. And I've had them this year where there's 2, 3 in a row of 25 pots, so it's good to see. Definitely some fish around, and they're smaller, not many legal ones. We're catching a few legal size ones, but most of them are 14 to 18 inches. They're the next age class, so we're gonna have some fish for next year. Nice healthy looking fish. They got some meat to them. They're not all skinny and nasty looking. No sores on them. They look really good. Chase, you're on! Let us know how the catch has been this week. How's the rock fishing been since the season opened back up? Curious to know how the fishing is. Maybe giving them a break for a couple weeks. Maybe the fish turn back on. I don't know. Maybe they disappear. Who knows? I don't know. Give us a report on what you guys are seeing. How about this? This week on Foods of the Friday Report, pretty sure it's a Red Haven Yellow Peach from up there west of me there in Lareland Farms. My wife and kids went up there and picked peaches and all, and man, I'm gonna tell you what, these are good. You gotta eat them with a paper towel. They're so juicy, they make a mess everywhere. All right, head us back up.
Crab. Beside it, it's all gnarled up.
That's some good stuff right there. I learned that the cling peaches stick to the pit. You gotta cut them off the pit. I forget what the other kind are called, non-cling, I guess. That you can eat them right off the pit. Man, that's good. Good old Maryland peaches.
We had a crab today that was more yellow, really yellow looking crab compared to the darker ones. We're gonna put a tag on them and let them go. There you can really see the difference.
Well, not what you want to have happen on the way home with a load of shrimp. And this is my good tire, or was. Had to change the tire on the side of the road.
All right, crab number 96, the yellow crab, going overboard.
Had some Bay of Water yesterday. Dead fish, dead crabs. Spots on the camera was dead rockfish. There was a whole line of them, probably 50 or 60 of them. I only got a few of them, but the whole scum line all full of dead rockfish, and the season's been closed. Them dead rockfish we saw, I don't wonder if some of that was a fish kill from that Bay of Water. The rockfish were dead floating, and I can't imagine they're 2 weeks old. Everybody's been fishing for 2 weeks, and to see all these dead rockfish, I can't imagine that's fishing mortality. You see that a lot of times. After people have been fishing, they've thrown them back, they die. But these fish didn't look 2 weeks old, dead floating. I can't imagine. I mean, the bait in the crab pots is lasting about 3 days if you're lucky, especially fishing all, it's gone, I mean, so fast. I would imagine them floating fish aren't that old, probably from a fish kill. So that's not good, but it's kind of par for the course this time of year. We did have some rain in a few places, some thunderstorms and stuff washed in. That can lead to it, and we did see that dirty water last week. That sewagey water with the nitrates on the top, bubbly water, foamy water, and maybe that had something to do with it, who knows. Overall, with the dead zones being down, that's helpful. Got old Captain J coming to the rescue. Here he comes. Gonna bring me a spare tire. We're gonna get her done. God bless some people with beautiful heads and the rest he gave hair. That's what my grandfather used to always say. He was bald at 17. Did hear about some Spanish mackerel being caught maybe further down. Didn't sound like there were many up towards the bridge yet that I've heard of. Anybody catching some, let me know. I want to catch one. I never caught one. I even tried, I think it was 2 years ago when there were so many of them up the bay, trying dragging spoons and all. I could never catch one. But supposedly they're good eating. You can eat them sushi style, raw. I don't know about in the bay, but I know down, I've seen some videos where they eat them like sushi. It's supposedly really, really good fish. You can cook them with the skin on, and there's not many scales, so they're good, really good eating fish, supposedly. I want to try one. Well, it's good to have good friends. And when you break down, not be too far from home. Fortunately, his truck's the same as mine, and the tire's a little different size, but we'll run her a couple days till I get a new one, and onwards and upwards. Thank you, Captain J. Appreciate it. You're the man. I owe you something. I had the first sea bass today. We had a bunch of them last year, and that's the first one we've seen this year. Really pretty fish.
They have big teeth on them and big spikes.
Starting to see these hardheads now too, up the bay. Not real big, but spot. Saw some hardheads the other day, mostly further up the bay. Guess that being out there on that mud, that's where you're gonna see them more than up where I am. Mostly small stuff. They're not even legal. They're not even 9 inches for me to keep. Not that I would anyway. We don't catch enough of them to be able to sell or anything like that. I don't know what's going on with them. All we ever see is mostly smaller ones. I know there's always some big ones that come up and spawn because we see the little tiny baby ones. My son was catching little tiny ones, and then each week they would get a little bit bigger, and you could tell they were hardheads. So I don't know. There's some coming to spawn. It just don't seem like they're somewhere in the process. They're not making it to, many of them are making it to adulthood. I guess enough to reproduce, but not enough to keep the population where it used to be the old days. My father told stories about catching 14, 15, 16-inch hardheads around where I am, and I don't think people have seen that in quite a while. There was a year or two we had a fair bit of hardheads, but it ain't really been since, so I don't know, maybe somebody knows more about that. Same thing, the bluefish, we don't see them like they did in the 80s and all, and just cycles, I guess, up and down. Some years are better, some years are not, and just kind of is what it is. You know, in 20 years, people be talking about the rockfish and how many rockfish there used to be, and I'm, you know, on and on, and now all we catch is this. Could probably be like sea bass or something, tarpon, who knows. But the way the water is, and fish are coming further north now, it seems like. Some of it's not all bad with the cobia and stuff like that. That's pretty good fish. Well, there's the aftermath. We did a number on her. I was thinking this was my good tire, and really, if you look at the tread is really, really good. But I remembered that this tire was my original spare from when I bought the truck new in 2004. So it's an old tire, even though the tread's good, and it was up underneath and dry rotted, I guess, obviously. Sent in a report. He was down hand lining somewhere south, and he had a good day too. Caught a dozen or a dozen and a half crabs or something like that. Good amount, enough to eat. and said he saw a ton of little ones too. So it's always good. Things come and go. It ebbs and flows, and enjoy what you got while it's there and take advantage of it. Well, I know there's a lot of talk about rockfish and population swings, and I know the young of the year index has been down the last few years, but I can tell you with all the rockfish I'm seeing, different sizes, it looks good to me. It looks like we're going to have a good future, and the rockfish are going to be coming back. I don't get much time to do very much fishing, so live vicariously through everybody else.